It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Alright, so just a little heads up, the talking part of this video will be a little bit longer than normal. As well, some of you guys probably know I love Cyber Angels, and I absolutely adore chatting about them. So when I saw Alexis was coming back, I knew I had to give the new rewards a shot. So what do we get? Alexis gave us 2 new cards for Cyber Angels, which at first glance both seemed to be pretty bad, but honestly, after a bit of playtesting, one of them turned out to be the one card every single free-to-play player out there has been dreaming of. So here's the deck list I was trialing on stream. Now to save time, I think the best thing for me to do is to ignore the rest of the deck list and just talk about the new cards and their synergies, as you guys should probably know by now how the rest of the archetype functions, and if you don't, I have about 5 other Cyber Angel videos on my channel you can feel free to go look at. So I'll start off with Tutubon. Why exactly is this card a free-to-play player's dream? Well, every time I've ever uploaded a Cyber Angel video, I was always bombarded with comments asking for replacements for Senju, as it's basically the only expensive card in Cyber Angels, and it's always been a necessity. And since the only real replacement for him was Gishki Chain, which is also an ultra rare, it didn't really have a replacement. Until now. Cyber Tutubon's effect allows it to special summon from hand by tributing 1 warrior or fairy type monster from your hand or field, and comes with the bonus effect of if it is tributed for a ritual summon, you can target a ritual spell in your graveyard and add it to hand. Now the reason this makes a perfect replacement for Senju is because it combos extremely well with Benten, which as you probably already know when tributed can search for any of your monsters, including Petit Angel, which makes this card even better than Senju in some situations, as it can help give you access to a ritual spell in an all monster hand. This card does come with a pretty hefty downside though, of it is level 5, meaning it is really hard to use it for a ritual summon on its own, as its levels combined with your other monsters never add up to 8 or 6, as this is obviously aimed at being used for the level 10 Cyber Angels we don't have in Duel Links yet, such as Vrash. But we do have a way around this by using the skill level Duplication, which is honestly a really good skill for any ritual deck anyway, as it can make any material the same level as the monster you're trying to summon. When tested on stream, this actually had a higher win rate than one of your more common skills, Master of Rites 2, as Master of Rites 2 is pretty useless at the moment anyway, with the lack of targeting effects thanks to the existence of Cocytus, and even in the one matchup where it's actually useful, Element Saver, it will just give them a free target for Cosmic Cyclone, so they could activate their Sorcery Conduit. Now I'll move on to the next card, Magnificent Machine Angel. Honestly, this card's effects are not bad. This card allows you to tribute any Cyber Angel to target any of your other fairy monsters and buff them by 200 attack and defense times the level of that monster tributed. It also negates the effects of any monster from the extra deck that battles the monster you targeted until the end of the battle phase. In practice though, even though these effects seem quite good, they are really overestimated and in most cases not needed, as it's basically just overkill. Giving an attack boost to a deck that quite easily OTKs anyway due to how high their attack already gets is kinda silly. There is only really 2 common scenarios where I see this being useful. The first is to beat over an Alistair buffed monster, as they are kind of the only cards that get to pretty absurd stats at the moment, and even then, it only really applies to the Earth one, as the Earth one is the only one that can get to a high attack stat to swing at you, whereas Cocytus is always in defense, and you're generally always going to remove it with your non-target send removal anyway. And the only other scenario I saw this card being useful in is if you want to slam a fat amount of piercing damage using Dakini through a defense vision monster your opponent controls for lethal. In nearly every other situation though I found myself in when testing this deck, I was wishing I had swapped the card out for Merciful, as it always just felt like a brick. I saw these kinds of starting hands way too often, and Merciful was designed to just fix these clogs. So basically in summary, I think the optimal free-to-play way to play Cyber Angels is with at least 2 Cyber Tutubon as a replacement for Senju. And in current meta, I would absolutely never choose to run Magnificent over Merciful, as it's just a brick at worst, and overkill at best. Alright guys, that's basically it for the toying part of this video. The rest of this video will just be a bunch of gameplay showing this deck list in action. Do keep in mind I was using 2 different skills when testing the deck, so if in the gameplay there is 2 different skills being used, that is why. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, comment if you have any questions or feedback, make sure to check out the links in the description to my Patreon, my Twitch and my Discord. And if you happen to have $1 lying around and wish to support me, feel free to click that join button down below to support me directly as well as gain access to a few little neat perks. Enjoy the gameplay!
Duel. Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.